The Johannesburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse says that the city needs 26 billion rand to stabilise the power supply in the metro. She was speaking at the City of Johannesburg's first Energy Indaba at the Sandton Convention Centre. SABC News economics reporter Liabo Setho has more.
Thank you so much. The first Joburg Energy Indaba that's held here in Sandton at the Convention Centre has heard about the impact that cable theft is having on the city's efforts to make sure that there is a reliable power. I have with me this afternoon the acting CEO at City Power, Ms. Tshifularo Mashava, just to speak more about what else is the City Power doing to keep the lights on. What are their strategies for the future? And what other plans do they have to grow, particularly the revenue base, to make sure that people keep on paying for their services? Ms. Mashava, thank you so much for making time to speak to us on the SABC News channel. We spoke intensively in the conference, the mayor mentioning it about the impact of cable theft. Do we perhaps know the deep dive of just how bad the situation is? Are you making headway in making sure that infrastructure stays safe?
Thank you for having me. The situation is really bad, and we are thankful for opportunities such as this because we're able to get the message across. I think we wake up every day to incidents of cable theft, and it really gets bad during load shedding as well, because as you can imagine at that time, the thieves know that the network is down, and for them is an opportunity. And unfortunately, we have to communicate at that point in time and indicate that electricity is off, and at that time it gives them an opportunity to obviously steal our cables. It is a big impact for us because not only are we losing revenue at that point in time, because as you can imagine that we budget for our revenue, we look at how much we will be selling. We do not factor in unannounced load shedding in between. We do not factor in moments of cable theft. So when there is cable theft, we are not able to sell electricity, and as such our revenue is down. And it obviously has another big devastation in terms of critical material availability for ourselves, because we're quickly depleting our stocks, which therefore means sometimes when the customers are off, we're not able to get them on time, because then we do not have enough material to get that done. So cable theft is a big problem for us.
Yeah. Let's talk about revenue collection, because you do say that it eats into your revenue. How are the books looking right now, considering that the city and the country at large is focusing on recovery from the pandemic? People have lost jobs. Getting jobs is more difficult. So households are really having it a bit bad. But how bad are your books, and what are you doing to help recover?
We saw this coming from 2020, that there was a decline in our collection levels, and in particular with businesses as well. So it was not only a decline in collection level, we also didn't build that high, because some of the businesses actually closed down. So you are dealing with a much smaller pot where you are collecting from, and you are collecting from businesses that are already strained. So from City Power side, what we had to do was, when we looked at our tariff model for the next financial year, we factored all of that in. And that is why in terms of our tariff offering, we've really done what we can in terms of keeping the costs really low, so that that tariff increase won't be so high. And we have in particular looked at businesses and ensured that their tariff is slightly lower as well, just to encourage them that they have to pay for the services. Because when we've got the debt, when we're not collecting the money, we are not able to get the money that we need to maintain the very infrastructure that should keep the lights on. So we've got a lot of collection efforts that we are running. We've got a lot of campaigns, because we also acknowledge that there are some customers who are able to pay. It's not everybody that is not able to pay. And as such, we do have a partnership, a service level agreement with the City of Johannesburg, where we are embarking on revenue collection. We issue pre-termination notices that we are going to disconnect you. And we do go out and we disconnect customers that are failing to pay, because they do have the money to pay. And the city does have another offering for those that cannot afford to pay, where you can come and you can declare and that can be looked into. And there's also a component of free basic electricity. We have to pay for our services. The city depends on this revenue.
One of the things that the mayor mentioned in her speech was the issue of innovation, that you are looking for innovative solutions and to also look into private-public partnerships. I have witnessed a lot of businesses that are here that have solutions, but I know that there are many more at home who say, you know what, we can do this. How do they give that business proposal that the mayor spoke to your office to say, we can help, we have a solution?
So, in the opening, our board chair, Ambassador Douglas Gibson, actually concluded his talk by saying, we are ready for business, we are open for business. So what we are intending to do, this is a process for us to gain the insights and the knowledge to refine our strategy so that we can issue a guided RFP as well, looking at what the market has to offer. So we are going to be immediately after this, we are going to be issuing those requests for proposals. So I would urge all those that have something to offer to look out for it. It will obviously be publicized in our own website. They must get ready for it and they must be able to submit their proposals. We are going to be following our normal supply chain management processes. So our head of SCM is working on that. Our head of contracts is going to be supporting him with that. And we are also ensuring that there's a whole team just looking at the whole alternative energy procurement, looking into this. We have to follow process and we have to follow regulation. But yes, we are open for business. We are looking forward to innovative service providers giving us their offers.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. All right, that is the acting CEO at City Power, Ms. Tshifularo Mashava. She says that the city is open for business. It's ready to do business with you. They will be publishing a request for proposals. You should be on the lookout if you are in the energy business. Perhaps this is your time to now put up your hand and say, I can help, and get to be in business with the municipality and City Power as well. And with that, I hand over back to you, studio.